Hello and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am Jody Misiak and I'm super excited to be here for a couple of reasons, but one is that it's a new month, which means we have a new topic for our Wow Wednesday. Now, if you're new to Wow Wednesday, what the heck is it? Wow Wednesday, or WOW, stands for Women's Online Wisdom. Now, yes, I may know a couple things, but it's really about you. You have everything you ever need within. So this is really me helping inspire and motivate you to really bring that wisdom that you already have inside out and showing the world who you really are. So are you ready? This month, we're talking about falling in love with the most important person there is, you. Yes, you. So this is my favorite topic. I just thought it was fitting because we're still in fall. We're getting close to the winter season, but we're still in the fall where this is really the most beautiful time where the leaves are really changing now, before ever and falling before the colder weather, or I don't want to say it, but the snow sets in. So today, what are we talking about first? It's starting where you are. What the heck does that mean? It means loving. It's starting to really be okay with where you are. So it was over a decade ago now where I really started my self-love journey. I was a mess. I was a total up mess. And I feel like my rock bottom may not have been your rock bottom or somebody else's rock bottom, but I was pretty rock bottom. A boyfriend of mine broke up with me and I just felt like my world ended. My heart was broken and I thought I could never fix it. I'm pretty sure I have a blog about this, I'm pretty sure. So just if you want more backstory on it, definitely read my blog. But I'm just going to give you a little bit of where I started my self-love journey, because we all start differently. And maybe you've already been on your self-love or your self-love journey, or I like to call it creating a deeper, loving relationship with yourself. No, it's a little longer, but it's a little bit more well-rounded, I feel. Because sometimes self-love just seems a little too vague. So here I am, heartbroken. I really thought my heart was broken forever. Yes, I know there's more painful things in the world, but in that time, I felt my world was done. And I was really depressed and sad, and I didn't eat for like a month. And my rock bottom was when I got so drunk that I was throwing up at my grandma's house. Like, I lived with her at the time. And my grandma had to take care of me. I was in my 20s. Pretty sure I was 24. Was it 25? Anyways, heartbroken, throwing up. That was like the end for me. I was like, I'm done. I need to like start doing something about this. That was my moment of like, stop feeling sorry for yourself and let's get together. Or like, let's make something better happen. So I picked up the pieces, and I think it just started with reading one book after another, and just watching videos online and just really, reaching out, and it was talking with friends and really sharing how I felt. But that was really where my self-love journey began, was when I realized that I am worthy of my own love. Like, it took me a year, that solid year there. And then at the end of that year, it was literally almost a year to that day that I decided to pick up the pieces. Maybe actually just under a year. I said, I finally was at a place for the first time in my life, because I've never felt worthy my whole life. I finally felt like I was enough as is. I even remember saying to myself, I don't need a man. I am amazing on my own. I remember saying that to myself. Like, maybe not exact words, but I remember I am enough as I am without a man. Because my whole life, I didn't feel lovable until I had a man. And the fun thing is, once I let it go and I was like, I am enough, like right here where I am, I met my husband. Well, now husband, because obviously, we dated for a while. I met him a week after I said that, a week to that day, when I said I am enough on my own. And it just felt so good to know that I was worthy of my own love, and then I could actually let somebody else love me. like fully and like amazingly. Like it wasn't like chasing after him. And he got to see who I really was when we met. So it was really cool. Now that doesn't mean that we've definitely changed and grown over the decade, over a decade now, together. And definitely we've had our struggles and our ups and downs, but he got to see me in a loving state. It was really, really beautiful. So it's about starting where you are. You could be at your lowest. You could be in the middle. You could be feeling pretty good, but you still want a little bit more, a more loving relationship with yourself. Wherever you are, just start now. That's all it is. Just watch these videos with me, you know, do the work that is needed. Maybe it's big, maybe it's small. It doesn't matter as long as you show up and you do something, okay? And realize that you are worthy of your own love, because whatever you might be chasing in your life, you are worthy of it, but it's about coming inward first. So let's start with it. So today I have a fun little thing I'd like you to do. So after this video, grab a pen and paper, or if you have one handy now, you can jot down the notes, or just make note of what time it is now so you can come back to this. Or it's pretty straightforward, so you could probably remember this until I get through it. So grab a pen and paper when you're ready, preferably today, because I personally know that if you don't do it today, you put it off till tomorrow, it doesn't get done. So just do it today. And if you can't do it in this moment, pencil it in today or tomorrow. Okay? You got a week until the next video comes out. So write down a list of the things you love, big or small. Now, when I was super not happy with myself and my life and things were pretty dark, it was that I had 2 feet that I could actually walk. Or like, it wasn't like just 2 feet. It was just that I could walk, that I had 2 arms, that I could see, like very, very things that we take for granted. And as you so again, start where you're at. If you're already cool with all that stuff, you can reach for something a little bit bigger. But if that's where you're at, honor that and love that. Big or small, whatever you love about yourself. It could even just be that you're taking time to watch this video right now and moving forward in a loving way. It can be so many things. Okay? So start with writing down the things you like or love. It depends on where you're at. Again, it's all about where you're at. I always call it's a self-love practice. It's just like yoga. You know, it's not about being perfect. It's about feeling what's right. Same with self-love. It's about feeling what's right for you. So big or small, start where you are. Now, the next part, you might think like, oh, this is not cool. But it needs to get done. Write down the things you don't like about yourself. Now, this is not about judging yourself, hating yourself, or beating yourself up. The reason we're doing this is you can't change what you don't shine light on. So if there's parts of you don't like and you're ignoring them and you're pretending it doesn't exist, it doesn't change how you feel about them, but you're kind of like putting it on their carpet. It's like you dust the floor, or not dust the floor. You sweep the floor and you just like, you don't feel like using a dustpan. You just put it under the rug. That dirt's still there. You haven't got rid of it. It's kind of like EFE tapping, like EFT, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping. You know, a lot of people think like you're saying negative thoughts while you're tapping, but you need to address that. And it's the same thing. We need to shine light on what you don't like so you can clear it away or you can change it, because we can't change what we don't look at. Okay? So this one's really important. Take some time with it. If you're going to get a little overwhelmed, take a deep breath in and exhale out. Write it down. What don't you like? For the longest time, I'll be honest, one of the biggest things I didn't like about myself was, there's a couple. One was horrible speller and reader. And it was until I started like loving myself more and I let myself really show up as me in front of my husband. And at that time, actually, where I first started, we were just dating. And I was just honest. I'm like, I can't spell this word. Like I would go to him and he just lovingly supported me in it. And the more I was open about not having troubles with certain words, the more he'd help me spell it, the better I got. It's about learning, like we all learn differently. So for me, I just learned a different way. So it wasn't about that I was stupid or slow. It was just that I learned different. And the more like, so instead of pretending I was smart or just forgetting about that I couldn't read well or spell well, I actually just owned it. Now, I didn't own it with many people, which is pretty much my husband, but I did it. And it's just taking those small steps. The other one is my weight. It's like pretending it doesn't exist, but at the same time, like you look in the mirror, it's like it doesn't change. So until you change the loving, until you shine light on it, then you can change it. And then, so it's making that list, shine that light on it. And then it's about changing your perspective. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it at this moment. It's just, again, being aware of it, shining that light, and then look at one of the things on your list. What has it shown you in your life? So for me, it has, for my weight, I am actually super grateful for my weight struggles and journey because I have learned a really healthy lifestyle. Yes, I've had some ups and downs. I've gone through some crazy diets and weird things, but now I'm at a place where I honor my body. And it's not so much about losing the weight. Yes, I want to be lighter, but it's so much more than just being skinny. It's about having the energy to be with my kids and just having that joy. Like the more weight I've been releasing, the more I've been enjoying life. And it's just really connecting that. And if I didn't have the healthiest relationship with food growing up. Like I didn't have the best role model. Thank goodness my dad was, fairly healthy, but my mom likes her white bread and all things bread and things like that. Bread, and butter. So anyways, this is not a health thing or a food thing, but it has shown me, and it was about like, I just wanted to lose weight, right? I wanted to be thin. And on that journey, I have come to love my body. And it's not about weight loss. It's about giving my body what it needs on a loving level so it can perform at its highest. And in doing so, I have really created a healthy, amazing, like eating habits. Do I fall off the wagon sometimes? Oh yeah, but I have that foundation. And if it wasn't for my weight, I could have been super skinny and super unhealthy on the inside. But instead it got to show on the outside. So it's really helped me. And now I get to help that with my mom going through things. So it's a really, really wonderful thing that, I have built a really solid foundation, and it doesn't come from a place of fear or frustration anymore. It comes from a place of love. So that is what I've grown. I won't go into any more of the ones that I've shown, but that is really how I've changed not loving my weight, not loving my body. I was actually at a point where I was really hating my body because I kept putting weight on. And the more I hated my body, the more I gained weight. And then because I sabotaged and all that. So let's get back to your list of things you don't like. Look at it. What has it taught you? What has it shown you? Where has it guided you? Everything in your life is a wonderful lesson. It can be a problem or a struggle, or it can be a love lesson, whichever way you look at it. So it's just about changing your perspective. Again, today is not about going from like, I hate this about my body to I love this about my body, because it's not real. From jumping from one to the other, let's get real, probably won't happen overnight. It might. I want to leave that open to you. It might, but a lot of the times it doesn't. It's about changing your perspective. What has that thing that you don't like about you taught you? Where has it helped you grow? And it all starts there. So I hope this has helped you. Look at the list, do the list, and just honor yourself through this process. Send yourself love, because again, it's not about judging, beating yourself up, or Yeah, it's not about beating yourself up. Okay? It's about shining the light on the things you don't like so you can change your perspective and start loving yourself towards that. And I don't even want to put that in your head yet, because you might be thinking, well, that's way too far away for now. Just start changing your perspective. What has the things you don't like about yourself showed you in your life, or have taught you? I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day and know you are worthy of your love. Bye for now.